Hi everyone. I wonder if I can flip this. Okay, so I made this cute board, but it's backwards because it's a selfie. That was a bad mistake. Nope, that's not it. Well, okay, I was hoping that I could like flip the camera so this wouldn't be backwards. Okay, I am about to invite Torrey Rodriguez from T-Rod Social. Oh, sorry, her Instagram is T-Rod Social, Torrey Rodriguez Social, and I'm going to invite her if I can remember how to do this. Okay, oh, invite to join. I think I got it. I just wait for her to accept now. I'm new at adding people. Oh, hi!
Good morning.
Look at my board I made,
saw.
but it's backwards because it's a selfie image.
It's okay. I
Oh,
just
well.
thought that counts. And I'm pretty good at reading backwards.
Oh, good. I think people will understand the concept.
Totally.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm so excited. I'm good. I had a really good morning. I went boxing and then I got some
Ooh.
work done and I took like one of those long showers where you like clean everything, and I did purple shampoo in my hair and
Wow.
like the whole thing.
You
So I
did
feel all refreshed.
nice. That's completely different than my morning.
Oh, how was your
I woke
morning?
up late and then I was like, well, I'll just switch my day around. I'll just be a little bit more relaxed this morning.
That's okay.
But
At least you got some good sleep.
yeah, definitely. My alarm went off at 6:30 and I guess I just pressed snooze and didn't wake up past that. Oh well.
That's okay.
But I'm glad you're here. So everyone, this is Torrey Rodriguez. She owns Torrey Rodriguez Social. She's
Mhm.
an amazing social media manager. Do you want to tell us more about you and your business?
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm really excited about
Yep.
this. I am Tori Rodriguez. I have my own social media. I'm a freelancer, so I have my own business, and um, I started in 2020, but didn't officially start my own business until 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Rewind. I My life was a little different. We had my daughter, my first daughter, when I was 19. And so me and my husband went into, he was my boyfriend at the time, but we went into hustle mode and we just did what we could to, support our family. Um, just, take care of things before pursuing careers. Luckily, over the years, we were both able to finally find our careers. My husband's an electrician. And for a long time, I actually just worked nights at Starbucks. I worked at a wedding cake bakery in Santa Barbara, kind of just doing what we could, and learned a lot along the way about what I wanted and what I didn't want in a career. And so the beginning of 20 or the end of 2019, I decided to go back to school, and I thought, hey, you know what? Let me just try to really get a good job in like a secure business. So I'll go back to business school and I'll just take general classes. And I enrolled at Ventura College. They have a really great business program. I highly recommend, even if you're already an established business owner, that program's really good. It's very tangible knowledge that you can apply to anything that you're doing. But anyways,
Like
you
a
can get,
certain, sorry.
so it's cool because you have the option to do certification or to do a degree.
Oh,
And the
okay.
only difference is general ed. So I thought, I don't have time to take a biology lab and a Spanish
Yeah.
class and some other things that don't apply to what I want to do. So instead, I just did the certification, which is funny because I don't think anyone's ever asked to see
Yeah.
it, but I do have it.
Yeah.
I'm certified.
Very cool.
But I ended up for fun taking a social media marketing class just because at the bakery I had worked at, I kind of encouraged them to get on social media. I just helped them post here and there and get more creative with it. When my second daughter was born, me and my mother-in-law did cakes out of the house, and we had our own little business, and I did all of the promoting for that. And then, yeah, it was just like, it was something that I kind of naturally was good at and enjoyed and kind of had a creative eye for.
Yeah.
So from there, in that class, in that social media marketing class, there was a project where we had to come up with our own business or, brand.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, my husband was barbecuing a lot, and he had come up with his own secret like seasoning. And
It's so good too. It's so delicious.
I decided I'm gonna like try to market this. Like I'm gonna see, like I'll pretend it's, because we know it was the tricky thing for a lot of the people in the class were already business owners. And so he's like, you can't use your own business. Like you can't, it has to be something new and totally different. So I was like, oh, well, this is fun. And we called it Alexander's Special Seasoning, which the acronym is ASS. And so it was crazy because after that class, my teacher was like, can you come see me after class? And I was like, oh no, like I knew it was being risky, but I was like, I think he's a fun teacher. I'm sure he'll think it's fine. It's not like the worst bad word, but I was really nervous. And he like sat me down. He's like, why are you here? What are your goals? And I was like, just like to get a good job, to get a secure job, like something that where I can take care of my family and be there for my kids. And he's like, so you're just in the business program? And I was like, yeah. He's like, no, you need to do social media marketing. Like you are born for this. And so it was a really validating moment, a very clear moment where I was like, cool, like this is no longer me in survival mode, just doing what's best for my family, but it was me also finding my career and how I'm meant to help other people.
Yeah.
So
and you're so great with community. I think that's like one of the main things we want to talk about today. Mm-hmm. And something that I've been wanting to talk about so much on this platform is building a community, because I feel like in my business that has helped me so much. Mm-hmm. And you not only help local businesses, but you love to bring communities together.
Yeah, no, I think that it's sometimes overlooked. I think that social media is tricky because a lot of it is so global. Mm-hmm. And people are so obsessed with being viral and follower count. But at the end of the day, if you're not involved in your actual community, like your sphere, what do you call it? The radius, like around you, you might not do as well. Like, and I've noticed that with clients, the ones who are naturally more involved in their community, they see a different success. They have a bigger loyal following. Mm-hmm. And so that's something that's super important to me. And I've seen it with you. I feel like, I see your pictures everywhere, but it's like they are local businesses. I know that you travel sometimes too, but I'm sure you feel it too, that like word of mouth, it is affected by community, and just your opportunities that come up, it feels more organic because you're immersing yourself in the community in a natural way, and you're not forcing it or doing it with like not ill intentions, but just with only selfish intentions. Like you want to help others too.
Yeah, definitely. So what do you think are some good tips for building like a authentic online community?
So online, I think that being yourself, you said the word authentic. I think, we're in 2023 now, which is the age of storytelling and full transparency. It's okay to not look perfect, write perfect, speak perfectly. Share your wins, but share your losses, share your failures, share some hard lessons you've learned. People really resonate with that. And with that said, building a community online, it's not just like, hey, look at like behind the scenes, or hey, I spilt this while I was painting my project, or whatever it is. But it's also reaching out and kind of starting conversations, commenting on other people's, but not being like, okay, I should interact with these people. Let me just drop an emoji. No, if something really stands out to you, hey, wow, what a great message. Thank you so much for sharing that. Or, hey, that's so crazy. I was just at that coffee shop the other day. I love their iced latte. Talk to people like they're your friends. You would be surprised how many of your clients like weirdly are obsessed with you. I'm sure we all can think of a brand or two where we see their stuff and we're like, oh my gosh, I love everything they do. I respect their recommendations. They seem like they know what they're doing, and they talk to me. They communicate back.
Yeah.
No one's too good. I'm sure there's like celebrities out there who don't even have time for it, but like no one's too good to communicate back with their audience. And if you're not doing that, that's probably step one in why maybe your community building's not successful.
Yeah, I definitely think authenticity is like such a big thing now. I feel like people are so bored and tired of like the ultra professional, and we love to see realness. And I think one of the best examples that I have that I always tell the beauty school students, because I do media at Lou Ross is I always tell them to be authentic and share themselves, because not only do people want you to like do their hair because you're great at it, but you're gonna have to sit in their chair for sometimes 3 to 4 hours, depending on what it is. And you don't want to sit with someone for that long if you don't feel, I don't know, like comfortable or like their vibe. So I have picked people to do my hair because of how they are on social media and just their authenticity.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I also think with that, you need to come with, you're not for everybody. You have to accept that. It's a hard thing. It's a hard pill to swallow. I'm constantly reminded that. I'm sure you are too. It's a two-way street. Anytime you decide to work with somebody, even if it's getting your hair done, if it's going to a coffee shop. I mean, I've been to coffee shops that people rave about and they give me the worst service. Like I worked, at Starbucks forever, so I know a lot about the service industry, customer service. If people give bad service or they're just too busy and too like overwhelmed, then it's really hard for me to want to support that, as opposed to the place where, even though things might be a little slower, shout out to, have you been to Edenic Smoothies?
Not yet. Oh, I see you guys post about
so
them.
Good. Well, anyways, I just want to give them a little shout out because they are busy. Like they're so busy. It takes sometimes 20 minutes to get your smoothie.
Oh, wow.
But they are so nice and they apologize, and they talk to you. And even though they're busy, they stop and talk to you and they look you in the eye. And it's like all of a sudden for a minute, they're not too busy to help you. And so even those like little things, anything where you can let your full personality shine through, I feel like a lot of people, you'll attract the clients that you actually want and who want to work with you.
Yeah.
And so if there's other people who aren't feeling it, that's okay. They might be looking for something totally different, just like with friendships, with romantic relationships, like there's someone for everyone, but there's also people who don't vibe, and it's hard to force it.
Definitely. There's a lot of hype going on about the smoothies. Blanca says same, 100%. Love that place. Spencer also loves that place. So now I need to go. That's
and you
awesome.
can even co-work. You can work there. Like it's a cute little area to like, you can plug in your laptop and stuff too.
Great. Great place to work. I love co-working spaces. What are some other places that you can build a community beyond social media?
So this is something I really stress to clients, but also just, like any friends in business. It's funny because I feel like I'm still so new in business, but I have a lot of other friends too who are, and this question comes up a lot. And I think that networking, there's, we've heard networking forever, and it tends to have a weird little like cloud over it. Where
the like suit and tie, suit up,
the
stuffy.
shoving your business card in someone's hand and firm handshake and kind of immediately deciding if you're not gonna like, oh, are you interested in? Sorry, I'm gonna use realtors as an example because luckily a lot of the realtors I know now are changing this narrative. But like old school realtors are the very like, they have their name tag, they hand you their business card, they shake your hand, they're like, do you own a home? If they find out that in any way you're not even interested, it's like, okay, bye. And you're like, what just happened? So we both know we're part of the Ventura Business Women's Group, and S Group. Tawny Allen literally said that she didn't really like what was going on out there with networking, so she decided to make her own thing. And it's more built around community. It's built around having these open conversations, being transparent about our wins and failures. So I really love that. And with networking and any kind of community building, I think it's really important to go into it with no expectations of something in return, which is it's hard to not want to think that way, because of course you see potential. You hear someone saying they're starting a new business, but they don't have any photography, they don't have any social media. Of course, in our heads, we're like, oh, like us.
Yeah.
But at the same time, to like be patient, listen, like, of course, let them know that's what you do. I'm not saying don't share what you do, but go into it with like, hey, I just want to have some honest conversations with these women. Like, I want to build these people up, I want to support these people. And you don't need to go to a store and be like, well, I bought her clothes from her boutique, so she should probably like want me to do her social media, right? Or she should support me, or she's not liking all my posts.
That's not genuine.
Don't expect anything in return, but just do stuff because you feel good. And in this community building, you're going to find your people. You'll find your tribe. You'll find businesses that align with yours.
Blanca says, where can we find networking groups? What's your go-to resource to find networking events?
Honestly, I've tried a few others besides the Ventura Business Women's Group. I think that it kind of has to happen naturally, which is a hard thing to do, especially if you're not in like quite in the loop, which I'm not in the loop either. I do know that in Westlake and Thousand Oaks, there are a lot of groups over there. So Blanca, I can actually send you a couple people.
I think Facebook also. I just signed up. Well, not just signed up. It's called Alignable. It's like LinkedIn, but way more relaxed. And they have different networking groups. And there's one, it's like speed dating, but networking. I haven't been yet, but Blanca, I feel like that would be really good for you. A really good.
Also, Harvest, right? Harvest Goal Collective, even though it's got a different purpose, I believe they have kind of a networking, not vibe. But
yeah.
I think a lot of things too is like if you're in like a business group or a mastermind, you're like subconsciously also networking and then you start with like the people who you already feel good being around, you enjoy spending time with, and then from there see what happens. Invite more people, start your own, and it doesn't have to be a big curated event with name tags. It can be, hey, let's go to a coffee and let's all talk about our finances this week, or let's all talk about marketing, where we're struggling, things like that. So yeah,
networking is a hit and miss on Alignable. Yeah, I feel like there are like hit and miss groups everywhere. Yeah, Facebook. I think that's why you have to like, it's so hard to find. I think like once you find like your 2 or 3 that are really good for you and just grow with them. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, and I think too that it's hard that we go through seasons where we're really busy, so we're like networking's not really a priority. And then we all of a sudden might be slower and we're like, oh, okay, I need to like get myself back out there. And then all of a sudden we kind of don't come off as like desperate, but we feel more desperation in our conversations and stuff. So I do think with networking, it's important to be consistent through all seasons, because then you kind of you nurture those relationships and you keep them going regardless of if you need business or not. And I think, again, that comes off more authentic than just going to networking when you're like, I need to make some sales. I need to, whatever you're selling or promoting.
Also, like networking just in general in your everyday life. I feel like that's how I've gotten a lot of clients is I'll go into places and I'll say it's like a new coffee shop. I'll be like, oh, like this is great. And I'll just straight up say like, oh, I checked out your Instagram. Does someone do your social media? I do food photography. Like I'd love to connect. And I've gotten so many clients that way. Just by, because sometimes like they don't know they need you until you're there. They're like, oh, like that is what I need, or I don't need it, but someone else I know needs it so bad.
Yeah, for sure. And then again, too, making those like back to the realtor example is, say you meet a realtor. I just bought a house 2 years ago, so I'm really of no use to realtors. However, I still talk to these people. I talk to everybody. I don't ever just ignore people at a networking event if they don't have the right industry for me. But what I'll do is like, it's crazy. Like 6 months later, someone will be like, oh, hey, like so-and-so, the realtor said that you do social media work. I'm starting a new business and I need some support on, and it's like, again, I didn't intend for this to happen, but it's a great benefit of just being authentic, talking to everybody and, keeping those conversations open and being supportive too, because same thing, with that same person, I'll be like, hey, like I had a friend the other day say that they're just starting to think about looking at houses. And I really liked our realtor. I just didn't know enough. Like ours was such a like I don't know how to explain our experience. It was good, but it was just all so quick that I didn't even like know that you can pick realtors and things like that. And so with this friend who's very just like exploring, I'm like, hey, this girl might be a really good, not pushy source for you. So
yeah, definitely like connections and friendships are Yeah, even through friends. Like,
Yeah.
tell everyone what you
Hmm.
do, but also be authentic and genuine at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely. I have a couple other ways too that you
Yeah.
can kind of get involved in the community. So Ventura specifically, if you're in the Ventura County area, Ventura is very tight knit community. So everyone knows everybody, even though some of the cities seem bigger. I'm from Carpinteria originally, so I grew up in a small town. Everybody supports everybody. I was actually surprised to find out Ventura is the exact same way, if not more, because
Yeah.
Ventura is very collaborative over competitive in a lot of ways. I mean, I'm sure there's the businesses that aren't, but I've found that like you'll go to local events and there'll be two people who do the exact same thing and they're
Yeah.
like best friends, you
Yeah.
know, like us,
Yes.
you know, us and our friend Spencer, we all technically do the same thing. We are literally all each other's competition in one way or another, but we all have different strengths. Like I was saying before, like we all have different, you know, vibes. We all give off different impressions. And
Yeah.
so the right people will find us and say, you know, I like how you're this way, and then, you know, maybe this person's too much of this for, you know, what, however, and that's okay. And so I see in Ventura that like there's so much collaboration and community support and involvement. And you know, a lot of these businesses who don't necessarily need to volunteer, they're volunteering at local events. They are popping up at farmers markets or the tequila and taco festival or whatever it is, and they're, you know, everywhere. And so I feel like that's a great way to, beyond social media, to tap into your community and just, you know, like you said, have those conversations, introduce yourself, and kind of a take it or leave it way. Like, hi, I'm Tori. I do social, you know, who does your social media? I love your guys'
Yeah.
products. Let me know if you need support sometime. And it can be simple as that. You know, that doesn't mean you need to text them the next day and be like, did you think about it? Oh, hey, here are my packages. Did you
Yeah.
think about it? Like, we're not trying to be those people, but at least start with the intro. Like you said, you don't need to like hide what you do.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because yeah, people aren't gonna know you do until you say it.
Mm-hmm.
But um, but don't be pushy. Yeah, I love the collaborating instead of competition
Mm-hmm.
because there are so many people in our circle that do the same thing, but there's always enough to go around.
Yeah.
Yeah. And think of
Yeah.
like how much inspiration we have gotten from each other and like helped
Mm-hmm.
each other in our own businesses.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Hmm.
I feel like, I mean, so we're in a mastermind. Mariah, our friend Spencer, and our friend Kristen, who owns Earth Candy, we're all in a mastermind. And I feel like just building those friendships and that business relationship that we have where we can openly talk about our businesses, even down to financials and money and numbers and analytics, and having completely different goals and strengths and weaknesses. Like, I don't know explain it. It built this new friendship that I've never had a friendship like this. Like I've, you know, I have a lot of great friends, but like we're so vulnerable, and but at the same time, like now in a room, like anytime someone even says photography, I'm like, I have a friend who does food photography. You know what I mean? And I don't have to do that,
Hmm.
but I want to because
Right.
I'm so obsessed with you guys and your work. And so I think that's it too. Like get obsessed with your community, and you everyone has a place. There's room for everybody too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I think that when people go into business, which I mean, I was this way at first. I'd look at like other photographers in the area, other social media managers, like, oh, what are they doing? And in my mind, I always thought like, oh, it's competition. But
Mm-hmm.
then I realized, girl, like you're in California, like you
Yeah,
have the whole world at your hands, you know?
for sure.
I have so many clients that like they're not gonna get. Like, you know, just because one person is working at the restaurant doesn't mean that I can't get 10 more restaurants in our area.
Yeah.
It's just thinking outside of the box and like what you can do versus, oh, what are other people doing?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's actually something I mentioned to clients a lot is it is okay to see what other people are doing. It's okay to look, but you don't want to copy. So I always use
Yeah.
the words draw inspiration from people. So, you know, I might see something that a friend posts and I'm like, that is a genius idea. I'm not going to go copy it word for word, but I might be like, you know what? You did a whole cool point of view reel. I want to do a point of view reel for a completely different
Oh,
circumstance.
yeah.
but drawing inspiration and then like giving credit, of course, where credit is due. But I think that yeah, having that, what's the word, like breaking down that like high schoolness, like like she's kind of copying me, like her
Yeah.
stuff's really similar to my, like that's not necessary. Like they said, there's plenty for everybody. And I think that if we, like, losing my train of thought.
That's okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know where I was
definitely.
going with that.
And then there's the other side of that coin too, which I talk to like a lot of like artists about, is originality. I think people are so focused on like wanting to be so original, but to be honest, there's no such thing as being original.
Mm-hmm.
Everything comes from somewhere. There's this really great book. It's called Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically just saying like, yeah, there's no original idea. Even women supporting women, yes.
Yes.
Love that. That's the best way to go.
Mm-hmm.
What was I saying?
You were talking about there's no original.
Oh yeah, there's no original idea. Even if you like some like Elon Musk comes up with something like so original, it's really not that original. Like he's still getting other ideas and learning from other things to build this like incredible car model or whatever he's making next. Yeah, so I think people just see ideas as always being original, and they're not.
Yeah. I think there's a balance to it. I think it's, making sure it still is your own. If you use Canva and you're doing a template, make sure it's in your branding, move things around. Or, seeing a template and being like, I like how that was, and then maybe doing it from scratch so it'll still be a little more unique. Things like that. But we don't have to, overextend ourselves to be, ultra original and unique, because also there's a reason stuff is trending. There's a reason those things you're seeing a lot of it is because it's working for a lot of people. So it's okay to follow trends as long as you kind of have your eyes open and you're like, okay, does this really work with me? Do I need to be dancing and singing, or do I need to do like you did the Barbie trend, and I loved it. It's so funny. I was like thinking too the other day, I was like, I should have done that. And I might still.
It's not too late. Do it.
I didn't know what to say. So I was like, okay, well, when it comes to me, then I probably still will do it, even if I'm a week late, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if I have a client who is a law firm, they do not need to get trendy in that way, because that's not original.
No.
And I mean, because that's not, doesn't fit their brand.
It just doesn't fit.
Yeah, it doesn't flow.
Yeah. You still have to like be aware of your brand, and like not every trend I do is right for me. Just because it's a trend doesn't mean you need to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's another thing too, is don't get caught in the trends.
Yeah.
Because, I have clients who are like, hey, I saw this, and can we do this, and can we do that? And I'm like, yeah, but we're not posting about your services or anything. Like, you have so much to offer on your own. And it's funny because a lot of my clients, I have a couple of clients who are in the yoga wellness community, and their best performing content is like the outward community. Like, they're just sharing their knowledge. They're sharing a quick flow or a quick breathing exercise or a quick affirmation thing or meditation, anything like that. And they're not asking you to now come to their class on Thursday. They're not asking you to book a private session that might be out of your price range. They're just sharing, like, this is like their outward, like, this is what they want you to experience today. And, they're hoping to help you in some way, even if it's just a 5-minute breathing exercise or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I think, like when you get obsessed with trending, like, think about, though, like, back to like when you're sharing your own magic, because that's really what it is. When everyone has value in their business, it's magic. So when you share your magic wholeheartedly, not, hey, I have 3 secrets and I'll tell you one, but then you have to buy my class to get the other 2.
Yeah.
But if you just openly share and educate and inspire, that's a community building tool as well.
Definitely. I love that. I'm gonna see if anyone, feel free to drop comments, ask questions, jokes.
Oh yeah, you didn't say what you're drinking. What kind of coffee are you drinking?
Oh, I
or
made
tea?
another matcha latte.
Nice.
Yeah,
Where do you get your matcha from?
just Amazon.
Seems
I know
okay.
it's nothing special. Honestly, it's this like big bag that was only $10. And it's
Oh.
usually $10 for like this much, but I got
Mm-hmm.
like this much.
Yeah,
Yeah. What are
you
you
gotta.
drinking?
I am just drinking coffee with almond milk.
Yeah.
I'm being basic. I honestly, I was in the middle of editing a reel and it went from like 12:50, I remember 11:15 to like 11:40, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, okay,
Oh
I have to
no,
like
yeah.
reset because I was planning on just like having lunch, but I was working. Do you know when you get like inspiration and all of a sudden like I like everything was working, the reel was coming together. It's not due for a couple days, but like then I was like looking for the music, and then all of a sudden, yeah, I was looking for music for a long time, and that's what happened. And then all of a sudden I saw the time and I was like, oh, I gotta go. I gotta like
Yeah.
reset. So I was like, I'm not gonna make a fancy coffee today.
That's okay. Next time
Next
you're on
time.
my show, we'll make a fancy coffees.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes. Well, was there anything else you wanted to add about community that you feel like you didn't touch base on?
I think just putting yourself out there in an authentic way. So also, like you said, like going to these coffee shops, support. Alex is my husband. Alex has lately been like, you are so about supporting local. And I'm like, I am because like I want to live the way that I like am telling my clients to
Yeah.
live. And I worked at Starbucks for so long and I loved Starbucks and it was great for me for the time being. But like I know what it takes to get a coffee shop running and to keep it running. And so they have endless money and they have like, you know, different stores you can borrow labor from or products from or
Mhm.
whatever. And so it's a lot easier where I now understand like a small coffee shop, like what supporting them means and spending the same amount of money at both locations. And sometimes it's a little more at local coffee, but
Yeah,
you're paying for that difference. And
definitely.
so supporting locals becomes something really big for me, introducing myself, I'm really bad. I used to be really good with names and faces, and lately it's been like maybe because I'm meeting so many more people, but I'm trying to get really good again about remembering people's names so that when I see people in town, I feel like I can say hi and I remember who
Mhm.
they are and what they do. I'm supporting like local gyms. I go boxing in Camarillo at Hit Sports, and then I also do jujitsu at night in Channel Islands Jiu-Jitsu. And like all those people, a lot of those people have businesses. And then like I have my friend Allie runs the movement cycling in Ventura. And it's like I want to go try all these things. And I might not necessarily be able to go all the time, but just
Yeah.
even trying things and experimenting in the community too. And if you do kind of click with someone being like, hey, let's go get coffee, like let's just chat. And again, with no greater purpose of like,
Bring-
okay, well, I hope I can, bring a contract and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
just supporting local. Because even if they don't need you at that moment, they
hmm
might later on, or they definitely know other people
yeah.
who will. I've gotten so many like referral clients from people that aren't my actual clients.
hmm And I don't know if this is a love language, but like I love to help connect it's not a love language. I love to help connect
Uh-huh.
other people. Like even if it has nothing to do with
Yeah.
me. Like if I'm like I like for example, Bindia, remember I
Yes,
like
yes,
met
yeah.
her and then I was like I connected you guys and I was like, my friend Mariah does photography and you need this and it was perfect and like I didn't get anything out of that. Like it was just me being able to support and connect people. And so yesterday at the Coffee and Connect for the Ventura businesswomen, we were asked our vision for the future. And then
Yes.
me and you also had that other coffee where we talked about this. But I'm starting to come into my calling where I really want to help connect people to not necessarily in like a networking format, but I want to somehow be a resource for people because I'm starting to
Yeah.
get to know so many people. And I feel like I'm that person who's always like, I have a friend who does that. I have a friend
Yeah.
who does flowers. I have a friend who does cakes, balloons. I have a friend who does photography, hair, you know what I mean? Like everything. And so I want to be that person who anyone can come to me and not expect me to be like, okay, like, are you going to do social media work with me though? Or,
Yeah, exactly.
anything like that. But where I can be like, they're like, oh, hey, do you know someone who like does event planning? Or do you know someone who is like a tax accountant? And I want to know everybody. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's
Yeah.
important. I love that.
Yeah.
And you're so good at that.
Thank
I
you.
love that about you. I appreciate that.
Thank
You're
you.
very like authentic, genuine, um, mind and spirit. Oh, Rincon says, hello to you beauties up in the mountains with spotty service, trying to listen. Is this Louisa? Enjoy the mountains.
That's so fun.
We both
I
love
love
Rincon Brewery.
Oh, yeah.
They just launched, I think I posted it like 3 times between them and me, but they just launched some breakfast in Santa Barbara. And
we need to go.
Chicken and waffles, I don't know what it is. I wonder if she could comment, but it's like this glaze. It's almost like a sweet syrup glaze. Oh, it's so good. So it's not like syrup, but it's not
like
great.
thicker.
Yeah, it's like it reminds me of like
sweetened
condensed milk, but it's not.
Maybe they put powdered sugar in the syrup. As a baker, I'm like, what did they do?
Maybe.
So, but whatever it is, now I have to go try it. Let's go to breakfast soon. Anyone listening, come to breakfast with us.
Yeah, come to breakfast with us at Rincon. Special secret recipe.
Sorry, just kidding. I don't think there's any of that stuff that I said in there. I promise not to overanalyze it when I try it. I'll just enjoy it and take it in.
We'll have to go taste test again.
Ugh. Do you get breakfast beer? Is there breakfast beer and waffles?
Well, we took photos with beer. Yeah. Spencer's in for breakfast.
Ooh, yeah.
Anyone else in for breakfast?
Let us know.
Very cool. Also, Torrey bakes if you guys need baking goods. I feel like such an awful friend. I didn't follow your account till yesterday, and when you mentioned the account, it's at Rincon Brewery, Santa Barbara right now. On the weekends is breakfast. Okay.
Oh, that's perfect.
Catch us there on the weekends at Rincon Brewery, Santa Barbara.
And we'll get our wine too. Spencer's, I know she's a member of one of the wine clubs right there too.
Oh, at the in Santa Barbara?
In the Funk Zone.
Cool. I don't know if she's still on here, but Wildflower Winery should be opening soon. She joined a while ago. Natalie, I love her, and she's opening soon.
Oh, I love it.
She's just waiting for the opening details. Yeah,
that's so cool. Yeah, I'm a wine person. I grew up in Northern California, and I was born in Lake Tahoe, and a lot of my family would go to Napa. So I grew up getting sips, and so that's like, to me, that's like the ultimate. That's like my favorite. But then summertime, I like beer. It's my Pretty much, I'm not a hard alcohol person, and I drink sparingly.
I will go with you guys to be there.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Well, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me. This is great. I can't wait to see everyone you interview, because I feel like you have your own magic, and you're really creative with everything you do. And
super grateful for the talk. Cassandra, thank you. We hope you had some great takeaways. I'm going to go through our list so far for they're in Lake Tahoe.
What?
Seeing two together is amazing. Oh, yeah, Torrey's from Tahoe.
If you're in South Tahoe, go to Azul Kitchen, or Azul, I forget what it's called. It's up by State Line, but my best friend works there. So I always plug it. It's amazing. I love that. And there's a speakeasy next door.
We took our honeymoon in Lake Tahoe, and I sprained my ankle the very first day.
Oh, no.
It was like an 8-day honeymoon. Half of it was South Tahoe, half of it was North Tahoe. We went on one hike, and it was the dumbest, little slip, and I was out. And we just took a lot of drives.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's hard to do Tahoe with a broken or a hurt ankle.
Yeah, I know. So, I didn't write it down, but in April, what's today? The 12th? The 19th, we have Talia from Harvest Collective, Goal Collective. And then the 26th, we have Tawny Allen from Ventura Women in Business. And then I still have May the 3rd open if anyone wants to hop in. Also, I know I have a lot of women lined up. If any man wants to hop in, a creative gentleman around here, I'd love to have them.
That would be fun.
Yeah. So, all right.
All right.
Well, have a good day, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you guys for listening. And
yes.
Thank you, Mariah, again for having me. Love it.
You're so welcome. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Keep
All right, you too.
shining your lights, you too. You too. Bye.
Bye, guys.
I don't know how to end it.
I'm just gonna leave. I don't know.
Oh no. Oh, there we go. Bye, guys.